Liverpool rocked by shock twists on and off the pitch. Don't miss a second. Subscribe now for instant Reds updates, exclusives, and breaking alerts.
News headline: Liverpool vs. Man City prediction. Lineups, odds for Premier League showdown. Liverpool's top four hopes are under threat after Saturday wins for Man United and Chelsea, while Man City arrive at Anfield 9 points adrift of Arsenal in the Premier League title race. The clubs who have shared the last 8 titles have had matched starts to 2026, both winning just 1, losing 1, and drawing 4 of their 6 league matches. Arne Slot needs his side to build on the 4-1 defeat of Newcastle last week after United moved 5 ahead of them in 4th with victory over Spurs yesterday. City's need is arguably even more pressing as they look to close the gap on Arsenal. Anything but a win would probably spell the end of their title ambitions, but they have a wretched record at Anfield. The Sporting News brings you tips and predictions and all the best offers for the match, including 60-1 for both teams to score and 33-1 for Salah to have a shot on target. 15 of Liverpool's last 20 Premier League goals against City have been scored, 9, or assisted, 6, by the Egyptian king. Liverpool vs. Manchester City prediction. Who will win? This is a difficult game to predict, with both sides blowing hot and cold by the game. Neither are very convincing at the back, but both have forwards bang-in form in French pair Hugo Ekitike and Ryan Cherki. We're backing plenty of goals and a big showing for the out-of-form duo Mohamed Salah and Erling Haaland in a thrilling Super Sunday draw. It won't be enough for City after Arsenal went 9 clear with a 3-0 win over Sunderland at the Emirates. Incredibly, Paddy Power have already paid out on the Gunners lifting the title. Our score prediction: Liverpool 2-2 Man City, 11-1 with 365. Head-to-head record: Liverpool vs. Man City. The clubs have met on 185 previous occasions, with Liverpool holding the clear edge, winning 85 games to City's 50. While City beat the Reds 3-0 in November, they have won on just 1 of their last 22 league visits to Anfield. Going further back, it's 3 wins in 70 years. If City win, it will be their first league double over Liverpool since the 1936-37 season. Liverpool vs. Man City form guide. Liverpool, last 5 matches, all competitions. Liverpool 4-0 Newcastle. Liverpool 6-0 Karabag. Bournemouth 3-2 Liverpool. Marseille 0-3 Liverpool. Liverpool 1-1 Brighton. Man City, last 5 matches, all competitions. Man City 3-1 Newcastle. Spurs 2-2 Man City. Man City 2-0 Galatasaray. Man City 2-0 Wolves. Crystal Palace 0-0 Aston Villa. Liverpool vs. Man City tips. We've picked out 3 angles for Liverpool vs. Man City on Super Sunday. Over 3.5 is our first tip here, given we've predicted 2-2. That can be found at 7-5 with 10. Erling Haaland is enduring a rare barren run and has never scored at Anfield. He is, unusually for him, odds against at 11-10 to strike with Sky. One player who thrives in this fixture is Mohamed Salah. An assist for the Egyptian is 18-5 on Ladbrokes. Since joining Liverpool, the only team he's been involved in more goals against than City, 21, is Man United, 22. Liverpool vs. Man City team news, injury list. Liverpool team news. Arne Slot is unlikely to make any changes to the side that dismantled Newcastle last weekend. Hugo Ekitike will lead the line, looking to build on his 2 brilliant goals against the Magpies, while Florian Wirtz will be tasked with stopping City's wide men as a makeshift right back. Man City team news. Man City Newcastle, Pep Guardiola will welcome back Mark Guéhi to the City defense as he was ineligible for the midweek Carabao Cup win. Rodri and Nico Gonzalez may be paired in midfield for more protection against Liverpool's front 4. Antonio Semenyo and Ryan Cherki should start, 2 scorers at Spurs, with Phil Foden back on the bench after starting in the Cup. Liverpool vs. Man City lineups, predicted starting 11s. This is how we think the two teams will line up at Anfield today, with Liverpool unchanged and Mark Guéhi, Rodri, and Nico Gonzalez all starting for City. Liverpool predicted lineup to play Man City: Alisson, GK, Szoboszlai, Konate, Van Dijk, Kerkez, Gravenberch, McAllister, Salah, Wirtz, Gakpo, Ekitike. Out: Frimpong, Bradley, Isak, Leone. Doubtful: NA. Suspension: NA. Man City predicted lineup to play Liverpool: Donnarumma, GK, Nunez, Guéhi, Ake, O'Reilly, Rodri, Gonzalez, Shirky, Reinders, Semenyo, Holland. Out: Stones, Dias, Vardiol, Kovacic, Doku, Savinho. Doubtful: Bernardo Silva. Suspension: NA. How to watch Liverpool versus Man City, live stream, TV channel. Below you can find all the key information for how to watch Liverpool versus Man City today. Date: Sunday, February 8th. Venue: Anfield, Liverpool. Time: 6:30 GMT. TV/stream: Sky Sports, Sky Go.
News headline: Liverpool versus Man City. Preview, predictions, and lineups. News and details. The winners of the last 7 Premier League titles lock horns at Anfield. The weekend's Premier League action concludes with fireworks when Liverpool welcome Manchester City to Anfield on Sunday afternoon. Once a ferocious and often decisive title fight, this season's fixtures have lost some of their significance following Liverpool's dramatic decline and Man City's inconsistencies. Arsenal appears set to break up the Premier League trophy duopoly created by these sides since 2018, although Pep Guardiola's men at least remain in the hunt. Liverpool enter Sunday's fixture reinvigorated after successive high-scoring wins on Merseyside. After a tricky start to the new year, 6-0 and 4-1 wins over Qarabağ and Newcastle United, respectively, have lifted spirits. Still, the Reds face an awkward battle to simply retain their Champions League berth. They realistically need a top-5 league finish or to win Europe's premier competition. City still have an outside shot of pouring further misery on Arsenal, but last weekend's slip-up at Spurs underscores their regression over the past 18 months. 2 goals to the good and cruising, they stumbled to a frustrating 2-2 draw that leaves them 6 points off Arsenal. They did at least recover midweek to book their place in the Carabao Cup final, where they will meet the Gunners. Unfortunately for the citizens, their woeful record at Anfield makes for grim viewing. They have won just once at the venue since 2004, in front of an empty stadium amid the coronavirus pandemic, and will need to buck recent trends to keep pace with Arsenal. How to watch Liverpool versus Man City on TV, live stream. United Kingdom: Sky Sports Main Event, Sky Sports Premier League, Sky Ultra HD, Sky Go Extra. United States: Peacock. Canada: DAZN Canada, Fubo TV Canada, Fubo Sports Network Canada. Mexico: Max Mexico. Liverpool team news. Arne Slot has revealed he holds a little bit of hope that Joe Gomez could feature at the weekend, although he ruled out a start for the injury-prone Englishman. He's been missing since the 3-2 defeat to Bournemouth. Jeremy Frimpong is still sidelined for the Reds and joins long-term absentee Connor Bradley on the sidelines. Dominik Szoboszlai looks likely to reprise his role as right back against the Citizens. Giovanni Leone is still missing at the back, but Ibrahima Konate made an emotional return to the ELI last weekend, even scoring in the win over Newcastle. Alexander Isak is still recovering from his broken leg, while youngsters Jadon Dance and Stefan Bajcetic are also absent. Liverpool ELI versus Man City. Wirtz Ekitike gives Slot no choice. Injury news, predicted lineup. Liverpool predicted lineup versus Man City 4-2-3-1. Alisson, Szoboszlai, Konate, Van Dijk, Kerkez, Gravenberch, McAllister, Salah, Wirtz, Gakpo, Ekitike. The Reds continue their push for Champions League qualification. Liverpool secured their first Premier League victory of the calendar year last weekend, but face an almighty test in the search for back-to-back domestic wins. The 4-1 triumph over Newcastle United will have energized the Reds ahead of Manchester City's upcoming Anfield visit, but another impressive performance is required to overcome the title chasers. Arne Slot's side have been wildly unpredictable this season, but can still salvage an underwhelming campaign if they can build some momentum in the next few months. Sunday's duel is a major test of their credentials. Liverpool will continue without long-term absentees Alexander Isak, Giovanni Leone, and Connor Bradley on Sunday, while Frimpong has been ruled out by Slot as he recovers from a groin injury sustained against Qarabağ. In better news, Joe Gomez could be available in some capacity, with Slot hopeful of his return to the squad after missing the past 3 matches. Youngsters Jadon Dance and Stefan Bajcetic are also missing for Liverpool. Liverpool predicted lineup versus Man City 4-2-3-1. GK, Alisson. There have been few straightforward outings for Alisson this season, even in Liverpool victories. Against City's star-studded attack, the Brazilian will need to be on top of his game. RB, Dominik Szoboszlai. With Frimpong and Bradley injured, Liverpool's Swiss Army knife should continue at right back against some tricky forwards. CB, Ibrahima Konate. An emotional return to Anfield last weekend brought an excellent display and goal for Konate, who will need a similarly defiant performance against Haaland and co. CB, Virgil van Dijk. Haaland has rarely outmaneuvered Van Dijk in previous battles, but the Dutchman's decline this term hints at an awkward contest this weekend. LB, Milos Kerkez. Likely to come up against former Bournemouth clubmate Antoine Semenyo, the Hungarian knows how hard he will have to work to thwart the in-form Ghanaian. DM, Ryan Gravenberch. City's midfield is not as imperious as it has been in recent seasons, but Gravenberch must deliver an accomplished performance to deny the likes of Rodri and Tijani Reinders. DM, Alexis McAllister. These are the kind of fixtures in which Liverpool desperately misses McAllister's lost swagger. The Argentine continues to play within himself, despite recent glimpses of his class. RW, Mohamed Salah. Salah has long been City's nemesis, scoring 13 in 24 matches against them, and delivering a goal and assist in both of last term's meetings. However, this is a very different Salah. AM, Florian Wirtz. Wirtz was ridiculed after Liverpool's 3-0 defeat in November's reverse fixture, but he appears primed to silence his doubters again on Sunday. The Germans produced 6 goals and 2 assists in his last 10 games in all competitions. LW, Cody Gakpo. The performances of Wirtz and Hugo Ekitike have lifted some of the creative burden off of Salah and Gakpo, but the Dutchman has found himself under particularly harsh scrutiny for his underpowered performances. ST, Hugo Ekitike. Ekitike stole the show alongside fellow scorer Wirtz last weekend, with an excellent quick-fire break taking his tally to 15 for Liverpool. The Frenchman is certain to cause issues for City's uncertain rear guard. Man City team news. Ruben Dias was back among the substitutes midweek for the win against Newcastle, and Guardiola has confirmed he could feature in some capacity on Sunday. John Stones has also recently returned to team training, but will be reintegrated carefully. Guardiola revealed a late call will need to be made for Bernardo Silva for the trip to Merseyside, and there remain significant absentees across the City squad. Josko Gvardiol is sidelined in defense, Mateo Kovacevic in midfield, and Savinho and Jeremy Doku out wide, with the latter a particularly sizable miss given his terrific display in the reverse fixture. Mark Guehi was unavailable midweek due to Carabao Cup regulations, but will return at Anfield, against the club he almost joined last summer. Guardiola has suggested he's unsure whether Erling Haaland will lead the line ahead of Omar Marmoush, but Haaland is expected to feature. Man City ELI versus Liverpool. Marmoush-Haaland dilemma. Injury news. Predicted lineup. Man City predicted lineup versus Liverpool 4-1-4-1. GK, Donnarumma. The Italian was unable to repel Dominic Solanke's inspired scorpion kick last weekend. We'll hope Liverpool's band of forwards don't conjure up such magic.
RB, Mateus Nunes. A battle with Cody Gakpo lies in wait for Nunes, who will fancy his chances of stifling the trickly, struggling Dutchman. The overlapping runs of Milos Kerkez also require close attention from the Portuguese. CB, Abdulkader Kanuzen. Diaz was back on the bench midweek, but Guardiola might be cautious with his reintroduction following a month out of action. CB, Mark Guehi. Guehi endured a mixed afternoon at Spurs last weekend, and all pressure will be on him to deliver at Anfield following his failed move to Liverpool last summer. LB, Nico O'Reilly. An encounter with Mohamed Salah has seldom ended well for City left-backs over the years, but O'Reilly's youthful exuberance might be the perfect shackle for the out-of-sorts Egyptian. DM, Rodri. Rodri was fortunate to avoid being sent off for the second time in 4 matches, somehow escaping a second booking against Spurs. The Spaniard is still operating below his Ballon d'Or winning standards. RM, Antoine Semenyo. Semenyo torched Liverpool and former clubmate Kerkez back in August during Bournemouth's Anfield defeat. His current form suggests he could repeat the trick. CM, to Johnny Reinders. Reinders produced an excellent display against Newcastle, and Guardiola could turn to the Dutchman to offer greater security in midfield. CM, Phil Foden. With Silva a significant doubt for the trip to Liverpool, Foden could feature from the off in a central role, and while he's struggling to rediscover his mojo, he has scored twice at Anfield previously. LW, Ryan Cherki. The versatile Frenchman continues to dazzle in light blue and will be viewed as a major threat by Liverpool's defense. ST, Erling Haaland. Marmish's form and Haaland's modest returns since the turn of the year do open the door to potential rotation up top, but Haaland should retain Guardiola's trust, the City boss labeling him the best in the world on Friday. Liverpool versus Man City score prediction. It's nigh on impossible to predict which version of these sides we'll see on Sunday, neither able to consistently deliver on the big occasion. However, with both backlines struggling and their forward lines purring, it should be an entertaining, high-scoring encounter. Liverpool will have